So in my previous video, I showed this dress, which was worn at the infamous Bradley Martin costume ball in 1897, and this ball was considered a scandal. So we are going to look at why. Let's go. So even by its contemporaries, this ball was considered an insanely extravagant event. It cost the host what would be about $9.7 million in today's money to pull off. It was hosted by this man, Mr. Bradley Martin, and this woman, Mrs. Bradley Martin. And the ball was hosted to create an economic stimulus. The invitations were sent out at super short notice, forcing everyone to have their costumes locally made rather than outsourcing to Europe. Attire was described as picturesque garments from the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. We're talking extravagant silks, laces, lavishly embroidered with precious metals and jewels. Here is the hostess, Mrs. Bradley Martin, and she dressed as Mary Queen of Scots, and it is said that her gown was embroidered with gold and trimmed with pearls and jewels worth more than $60,000. The ball was hosted at the Waldorf Astoria on the site of what is now the Empire State Building, and mirrored walls and columns on the interior were curtained with orchids, vines, roses, and ferns, so the floral bill for this was insane. Contemporary articles congratulated efforts on aiding thousands of workers who were employed to set up floral arrangements for the ball. However, the hostess did make sure that newspapers were printing the most important details of the event widespread throughout the city before and after the event, and this garnered a ton of backlash. Priests and ministers used the event as a topic for their sermons, and newspaper articles were quoted saying, "Never before has the public equilibrium been so upset by a private fancy dress ball." To put things in perspective, there had been a 20-year recession up to this point, unemployment was super high, and the average wage for an American worker was $400 a year, almost $8 per week, and $1.25-ish would feed and house and clothe a family with 5 children per day. So while I'm sure a lot of people were grateful for the work created by the ball, watching the city's elite try to outdo each other with their fortunes for the event must have been quite another thing. At the end of this whole thing with all the backlash the Bradley Martins received, they returned to England and Scotland where they leased the Balmacan estate. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, I thought this event was super interesting, and it goes to show that even the best intentions don't always come off right. So let me know what you guys think about this event, and thanks for watching.